Hey everyone, welcome to the Eat the Frog Fitness Virtual Discovery Day. My name is Troy Cohen and I have the honor to be able to host this for you all today. And we're here at one of our beautiful studios here in Phoenix, Arizona. It definitely is a unique time right now, but again, we are very fortunate to be able to at least give you some of this information and allow you to really see what Eat the Frog Fitness is all about and how the technology is combined with fitness. So with that, we're going to be able to bring you some amazing guests, some people that will be able to really give you some information and some background as to what it might look like to take the leap, as we say, with Eat the Frog Fitness. You'll have the ability to listen to some of our current franchisees and owners of this very studio, Garrett and Connie Lee. We'll also be able to hear from Jesse Curry, who is our VP of Franchise Development for the brand and is a great resource to someone like yourself that may be interested to learn a little bit more. So we'll be able to talk with him and hear from him as to what he's seen in the fitness industry, what's taking place across the brand, and also what it might look like for you to make that investment with Eat the Frog Fitness. But first off, we're going to interview and we're going to talk with the founder of Eat the Frog Fitness, who also is the world's greatest athlete. You may or may not have heard of Brian Clay, but he won the gold medal in the 2008 Olympics. He won silver in 2004. He won the Jim Thorpe Award. He was granted into the Olympic Hall of Fame. I could go on and on with all of the world championships. He certainly knows a little bit about fitness. And with the times that we face today, we're unable to have Brian down here in Arizona, but with this technology, we're able to talk with him up in one of our Seattle studios. So Brian, thank you for joining us here today, for making the time and jumping in with this session here today.
Hey Troy, thanks for having me today. I'm super excited to be here. I know that with all the COVID craziness and everything that's going on, we can't be in the same place, but thanks to technology, of course, we were able to do this, and I'm really excited to be able to share with people about Eat the Frog Fitness, who we are, what we're all about, and hopefully convince some people to come join us on this crazy journey.
So Brian, let me start off by asking you, with your Olympic career and being titled the world's greatest athlete, how did you come about thinking about jumping into the business world and then the franchising world with Eat the Frog Fitness?
Well, I think the thing that makes Eat the Frog Fitness, so different than everybody else is our personalization. I think what we do at Eat the Frog Fitness is try to personalize a group fitness experience for each and every person that walks in that door. And so a lot of other places you get group fitness instructors and that sort of thing. We look at our coaches or our trainers as really personal trainers. I mean, they're there for the individual, and that is very different than what you're going to see everywhere else. Some of the other things that make us different is, our level of care, and we actually try to get to know our members. We want to know who you are, what makes you tick. We want to know who your family is, and we want you to become a part of our family. We're not just trying to get you to come in once a week or once a month and write us a check. We want you to come in and use us daily. The other thing is our philosophy. Our philosophy isn't just come in and burn calories. It's not just do as much as you can, as fast as you can, and as hard as you can until you get hurt. Our philosophy is really customizing your fitness program to fit you. So no matter where you are in your fitness journey, no matter what you might be working with in terms of past injuries or anything like that, we are trying to put the best plan for you to be successful at fitness together, and we want you to come do that in a group fitness setting with our members, with our family, and with our coaches.
And Brian, for those that may not know and might be wondering, what does Eat the Frog actually mean, and how does it apply to this brand?
Well, Eat the Frog Fitness is more than just a name. It's a lifestyle. It's something that we believe stands for not procrastinating, attacking the hardest parts of your day or the hardest things that you have to get done, which is very much what an athlete does. A professional athlete wakes up every morning knowing what lies ahead, knowing that they're going to put their body through physical things that nobody's ever done before, that mentally they're going to have to go to a place that they don't like going to, and all those types of things. And so we believe that people should take that same approach to fitness, knowing what's going to lie ahead, knowing that it might not be the easiest thing, knowing that you may not want to do it, but attacking it anyway. That's what we stand for. That's what Eat the Frog Fitness means, and that's who and what we want everybody to adopt for their own personal mottos.
And then, Brian, lastly, what is the philosophy behind Eat the Frog Fitness, and what makes it so different from all the other fitness concepts? And therefore, why should someone take a look at Eat the Frog and invest in becoming a franchisee?
I think the reason why people should invest in Eat the Frog, besides just what we've been able to accomplish in the last couple of years that we've been franchising, is really kind of our business model. I mean, we're the most personalized, and we don't just say that, but we literally are the most personalized group fitness model there is. We create a customized training program for every single one of our members that come in. Some of the other reasons, we're 24/7. I don't know of another group fitness company that's 24/7 access for all of their members. We use a ton of technology in our programming. We really try to take all the variations and all the different things that can go wrong out of the typical studio, the typical gym experience, and we try to create technology and platforms that allow us to just offer the best services possible to each and every member. Some of the other things that we do, we have live and virtual training, which is a little different, but it allows people to have different experiences when they come into the studio. They can take a live coached class with a coach that's there telling them what to do, but if that's just not your thing, you can also come in just about any hour of the day and take a virtual class, which is, there's no live coach, but you still get the experience of working out with our guy Tad, our green guy that's on the screen, as well as using all of our equipment and the music and the lights and all the things that make it really fun. Some of the other things that we do, we have minimal staffing. Because of our live and virtual options, you really don't have to staff our studios the way that you have to staff other studios, and you can literally have your studio open to your members even though there's nobody here staffing the studio at a certain time. And I would say the last thing is because we're founded by an Olympic gold medalist. What else can you say? I mean, listen, this truly is something that we believe in. It's something that we've tried to build from science, from the types of training and the types of inspirations that we used when I was training, trying to become the world's greatest athlete. We've tried to bring all of that to the table for the average everyday American. And I don't know of another brand that's doing that.
Well, Brian, I know you've got a busy day ahead of you, and again, thank you for taking the time to jump into one of our newer studios up there in Seattle, Washington. I know a lot of those that are watching are possibly excited to hopefully meet you and talk with you someday. So again, thanks for taking the time, and we'll talk to you soon. So our next guests did not win any Olympic gold medals, but they certainly are some of the best around. I'm pleased to welcome Garrett and Connie Lee. They are the proud franchisees of this very location. So I understand you both have a very successful business, and also, Connie, you're the mother of 4 children, with the oldest being 7, so I can imagine it is very busy around the house. So with that, I mean, why did you guys decide to get into a new business and then also get into franchising? Can you tell us a little bit about kind of what made that decision for you guys?
Why not add to our chaos, right?
Right.
Garrett and I have always talked about doing something in the fitness industry, but we didn't really want to start from ground zero. And then we started having kids, and it kind of just got brushed aside. And once we knew we were done having kids, we started working out at the Scottsdale location, and that's when we kind of fell in love with the concept and the idea. We actually took our first class, and Garrett walked out, and I thought he was crazy, and said, we're gonna own one of these.
Yeah, actually, after that first session, I met Troy, and he kind of walked up and was like, what do you think about the session? I immediately was like, hey, would you guys franchise these? It was immediately that question. I mean, I love the workout and everything about it, but that's what made me think about the franchise. It was like, there's something more here that intrigues me about franchising this brand, because it's different. It really is. I mean, you look at these screens, you look at the equipment, like, I haven't seen this yet. So that's what intrigued me to ask that question. But yes, we do own a moving and storage company. I've been doing that for 8 years. I do it with my brother and my dad. Very successful. We have over 40-something employees. We go across the country, and we've done very well. But it was kind of that point in life where I was like, I need to be challenged with something else. And so
And
this
we
was,
also wanted to do something together.
yeah, exactly. We did. We really wanted to be in the fitness industry together. With her dancing and me playing collegiate football, I mean, it just made sense for us to get back into fitness some way. So that's why it drawed me back into doing something with her, because I've done some with my brother and my dad. Now it's a new step and a new journey for us to actually create some roots together. We have a great marriage. We have a great family. I mean, there's nothing better. And the passion that we have, I knew that, you know, Connie with her, she's actually more competitive than me.
I've seen that.
I thought I was competitive.
I've seen that.
She is so driven and so passionate about, you know, and obviously the fitness, and with her family involved too. We all love it, and it was just a great fit.
I think that when my parents started working out there as well, and the fact that they fell in love immediately, we knew that this needed to be something that we do all together.
Yeah. Well, so when you bring up your parents started working out, can you talk about just that
Oh, yeah,
experience and the
absolutely.
difference between, you know, you guys being former athletes and then your parents who are, you know, a little bit older than you guys? Yeah. And can you just talk about just that experience and how Eat the Frog Fitness is able to, you know, accommodate such ends of the spectrum?
Yeah. I think the fact that when you have older people that do want to work out and that are fitness driven but have injuries, like my mom, she's 60, I don't want to say her age because I don't exactly know, 60 something.
Yeah.
When she started to do it, she has a really bad hip issue. She came to her first class and she walked out crying because she was so ecstatic that this was a type of workout that she could do where she didn't hurt. And she could do it every day and leave not hurting. So I think that's a huge aspect of it, that anybody at any age could do this workout. Whether you're injured, have a past injury, it'll help you immensely.
I think it was funny because like I kind of had that mentality, like you were inviting me and I was like, no. And then her dad had kind of that mentality, no. And then all of a sudden you go for that first time, you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I need. This is what I've been missing in my life. I need some direction. I need some structure. And Eat the Frog Fitness brings that to the table. And once again, like you said, your parents are in your 60s and they go more than us. They literally do it more than us. I mean, and that just attests to the modifications, the coaching, the programming, everything. It is built for anybody. It really is. It's not just one demographic that we're trying to meet. We're trying to meet everyone.
I remember taking a class and there was a guy with a cane. I think he had to have been in like his 70s or something like that. Yeah. And he was rocking it. Yeah. And he loved it. And he modified. The coach helped him modify and helped him get through the class. But it goes to show that it really can be for anyone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you mentioned kind of that personalized group training. Can you tell us a little bit more about the fitness assessment, the 8-week program, but then also that heart rate monitoring that really takes it from a theoretical number to then a true actual max heart rate? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I mean, we actually do a fit assessment. We actually bring them in. Let's say they do sign up, obviously, and become a member. Then we actually bring them in. We do the fit assessment. We do like an upper body, lower body, core body, strength, fitness assessment to actually dial in their max heart rate. So they go through that process, and then 8 weeks later, we actually reevaluate them, see what they've actually obtained. Maybe they did reach their goal. Maybe we need to tweak some things. But what's really cool is during that 8-week process, we actually build out a regimen for them. So we actually prescribe them, 3 or 4 different sessions that we'd recommend them taking every week. For instance, you might have like a strength on Monday, a cardio on Tuesday, and then a flex, agility on Thursday. Yeah. You might have those different sessions, then the next week something does change actually. So that's where we're actually prescribing you, and we're actually changing your max heart rate, through that 8-week process.
I think for somebody that's coming in for their first class, I think that's huge for them to want to sign up because it's the theoretical. If they sign up, then they can actually do the fit assessment test and get that max heart rate dialed in.
Yeah, then we actually now have like the in-body system where we can actually see the really nitty-gritty that we all don't want to talk about. That's the stuff we don't want to talk about, but that's where we're actually going to really see some things and see some changes. Because everyone seems to think like, hey, I want to lose weight within 3 weeks, Well, you might actually gain muscle throughout this process, and you might actually gain a little bit of weight. I mean, there's little things that is so scientific and technology and all that kind of stuff. So that's why having the in-body system, we can actually see things beyond anything that we all want to see and really obtain those goals that we want.
So awesome. So as we're talking about operations and as people are starting to understand maybe this business model, a key ingredient is that pre-sales process. Can you tell us a little bit about what that was like for you all and what that allowed you to do, opening doors, making some money?
Yeah, I mean, the pre-sales process, I mean, it is huge. I mean, you need to be opening these doors, making some kind of income in order to pay your staff, obviously, marketing, everything you want to do, you hit the ground running. So going through that pre-sales process, we were able to get a few hundred members to get started, and it's been a blessing, I can say. I mean, we're able to pay all of our bills every single month and still have a family and another business going. I would just say, the pre-sales process, you got to have some patience, but you got to have willing to drive. You got to be committed to wanting more and more every single day. Settling just for a certain number isn't enough. You want to open these doors, have the membership, that excitement, because it is powerful.
Absolutely. So one thing that I got to experience when I saw you guys interacting in that pre-sales process, I can tell, and I even still see it today, you all are so great building that relationship with the members, so engaging. What's been some of the feedback for those members now that you've been open and you've built those relationships with the members? What's been some of the feedback about the concept and what they're really enjoying and seeing as a result?
Well, I think that the family aspect of it is huge. They love that we care, because after every class we'll have our coaches send out emails to each member, just seeing how they're doing. But as far as the concept, I think the 24/7 is huge for a lot of people, especially those moms or people that work late night hours. And I think the concept of the 3 types of classes and then all the equipment that we use, it's top of the line, and I think that that's huge for people. And I think the boutique style is very keen for a lot of our members. They love that it's smaller, it's more intimate, they get that more personal training feel.
Absolutely. So you just touched on kind of that personal training aspect. Can you talk a little bit about what really that personalization is? And I know Brian touched on that and alluded to, this really is a personalized group training experience. So can you talk a little bit more about what you've seen in that personalized approach and how Eat the Frog Fitness goes about that?
Yeah, so I mean, I would say the way that our coaches approach it is, yes, we are on the mic, we are motivating, up to 24 people in a session, but the willingness to get off the mic and actually show people the form is huge.
The coaches have the freedom to do that because the workouts are already playing on the screen. The coaches are going through those the motions of the workouts for the members, but it gives them more freedom to get off the mic and actually go to each individual member, help them with their form, help them if they're injured with modification.
Yeah, and once again, I mean, you touched on the fact that we have this playing on the screens, and now allows, like myself, somebody that's been coming maybe for a year or two, I'm doing what I need to do. Now it allows that coach to get a little bit more time, maybe someone that's newer in the session that needs a little bit more attention. And I think that's huge where other models don't have that. Right. I mean, now they're trying to focus on everyone. Now they can actually divide some attention to someone that's new into the session. And our goal is to make them a member after that first session, obviously. Right. So that attention and those touch points are so huge. And that's where, once again, the model and the brand has just separated itself.
No, that's such a great point. So I know that and a lot of people might be thinking this, that investing in any new business and franchising, it can be a risk, right? So what did you guys see from the corporate side, from the home office, that gave you that comfort to say, okay, no, these guys and girls are here to assist us, and you actually saw that assistance really play out and still play out to this day to help you all be successful? What was that? What has that experience been like?
They've been there for us from day one. Every step of the way, they've guided us where we need to be, and they've set us up for success. And it's been nothing but amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the first day I actually met everyone that was part of the team in Discovery Day, I mean, I was just kind of like, these guys know what they're doing. I mean, like we said, we've always wanted to own a gym of our own in fitness, and then I was kind of like,
we didn't want to start from ground zero.
And I was like, why would I start from ground zero when I have these guys that have laid all this out for us? And created something that's so easy to just take it and run with it. And once again, you got to have passion. You got to enjoy what you're doing. Yes, you can build this whole huge building, the studio and everything, but if you don't have passion behind what you're doing, you're going to struggle, unfortunately. So you got to believe in what you're doing, and it was so easy to believe in you guys. I mean, it was kind of like, and obviously you see somebody like Brian, I mean, all his goals and what he's obtained, you're kind of like, okay, I'm sold. Like, if this Olympic medalist is, believes in the system, why wouldn't I?
Right. He knows a
So,
little bit about fitness.
yeah, just a little bit. So.
Right. Well, thank you guys for opening up your studio, and I know I can speak on behalf of the Eat the Frog Fitness brand that we're so honored and excited to have you guys a part of the family, a part of the team, and excited to see you continue to grow. Multiple locations, all that. I know you guys are ambitious with some exciting plans for the future. Yep. But I do know that you've got 4 kiddos to corral and a business to run. So we'll let you get going. But thank you again for opening up the studio and giving us your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
All right, and last but certainly not least, we've got Jesse Curry, who is the VP of Franchise Development for Eat the Frog Fitness. He's been in the fitness industry for over 40 years and has also been in the franchise industry for 15 years with some of the top brands in the industry. So Jesse, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about the fitness industry? I know you spent some time, over 40 years. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure, I'm the old man here. But no, it's been a great blessing to be in this industry, number one. As soon as I got out of college, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Even before I got into college, athletics, sports, get involved in the fitness industry. So it's been a great journey, that's for sure. Franchising, I've been in for the last 15 years, and really it's been always in the fitness wellness industry, and again, being on that side of the fence, working for the franchisor. Once I left that, I had my own consulting company, and then I got into being a regional developer and then a franchisee. So we're on both sides of the hat, so it's been very exciting. As far as the fitness industry itself, certainly there's been a lot of changes, a lot of consolidation, a lot of diversification, a lot of different segments that come off of the fitness industry itself, right? So if I was a prospective franchisee looking at the fitness industry itself and what models to look at, there's some things I'd want to take a look at first. And it's always about the data. Whether you're buying this business or you're buying another business, it's about the data points that are going to help influence you to make that right business decision. So when you take a look at the U.S. population here, there's over 300 million people in the United States. Roughly 20% of those people have a health club membership. Okay, so that's roughly 60 million people, math. And so out of that, again, you have the health club industry, then you have different segments that break off, right? And so one of the segments that we're talking about today is boutique fitness. And so out of that population of health club membership people, 42% of the 60 million have a boutique fitness studio membership. But the data even gets more interesting. When you look at it, 65% of those people have more than one boutique fitness membership, 2 or 3 or 4 more. So that's kind of like, that's interesting. Yeah. So when you look at that more, so it's you take up the user rate. It's important. So when you take a look at the user rate, again, the health club industry, overall, there's over 38,000 health club businesses, right? Right. Well, when you take up the user rate, meaning annually people using their membership, the boutique fitness studio has the highest user rate of any other segment in the industry. It also has the lowest infrequent user rate. So that's another data point. Yep. The other thing you'd want to take a look at is the monthly dues. So if I'm an investor, I want to look at these data points. One of the things I want to look at, what's the average dues? So again, taking a look at the broad picture in the fitness industry, the highest monthly dues price point is $94, and it's in the boutique space. It's in the boutique space. So when you take a look at the data points, just a quick review, you're talking about 42% of the people have a boutique fitness membership. 65% have multiple memberships. It's the highest usage rate, the highest price point in the health club industry. So those are some of the data points I would take a look at. The other thing I would take a look at is the demographics. That's important, right, in any business. So when you take a look at the data points, the demographics, 60% of the population in that boutique space is between the ages of 25 and 44. 40% of that is made up of 25 to 34. So those are some data points I'd look at, but finally, this is a very competitive space. Don't get me wrong, it's a very competitive space. And so you got to find the differentiators. But what people have to understand is the fact that the next wave, the 23, the 22, the 21, those are coming on board fast. And you know where I get that data from? If you take a look at the last 10 years, from 2010 to 2019, over in girls' sports, because in this industry, it's probably well over 70% of the participants are women. Over the last 9 years, and different team sports like basketball, track and field, volleyball, girls softball, the percentages have gone up 11% for those people participating. Girls, women participating. So look, that goes on to the next level. So it's not just about the 24 to 35, 25 to 34. It's about the next wave that's right behind that's coming into this industry. So that's a very exciting opportunity to be there. So again, I would encourage people to look at the data, that's for sure.
Yeah. Now, as we specifically talk about Eat the Frog Fitness, can you tell us a little bit about the growth of the brand?
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about the investment, the financial qualifications, and then, what does the persona look like for a potential investor, business owner within Eat the Frog Fitness?
Sure. As I said, I've been in the franchising industry for close to 15, 16 years now.
Right.
And what's interesting about this is that the growth of this brand, we started franchising in March of 2017, and that's started the awarding licenses, right? But the brand has been around, probably 5 years. When you start out something, you got to put it in a test kitchen, right? You got to put the pieces together, break it down, especially if you take a look at the technology, there's a lot of work behind here to do, right? So then you put it in the test kitchen, and then you develop it. So in 2017, in March, we started awarding regional developer licenses. And basically, for the audience out there, a regional developer, I'm sure some of you know this, but a regional developer is someone who actually goes and buys, like North Carolina. And in that region, there's a certain amount of licenses have to be developed, and that regional developer has a development schedule. So what we have now in the brand, we have 18 regions across North America. That includes Ontario and British Columbia, so we're excited about that. So out of those 18 regions, you ask yourself, so how many licenses is that? Well, in 38 months, we have over 300 franchise licenses, meaning that from tomorrow, when we get back open again, to the next 5 to 6 years, we will have over 300 studios open. That's a pretty significant number, because in the world of franchising, there's not too many brands that have, in fact, there's single digits, that have over 100 units. So we're excited about that. Overall, the brand here is about 800 to 1,000 units in North America. So it's an exciting opportunity. Now, you're talking about maybe the qualifications of an individual, financial qualifications. Right. We're looking for a person that has probably $300,000 net worth and $150,000 liquidity. Obviously, another important aspect of that is your credit worthiness, obviously. We do not do any financing. We do third-party financing, but we have a plethora of banks and lending institutions, leasing companies that we have contact with. Obviously, we have good connections with the Small Business Administration, and so we're in that area there. As far as the persona, well, I'm just thinking back on who we have on board today. We have a number of people that have been in franchising, still are in franchising with other brands. So they came on board because they're looking to number one, they want to get in early. Mm-hmm. They understand to get in early, and they also understand that what franchise is about. So most of the people here are multi-unit owners already, right? Have been or are currently with other brands. Diversify the portfolio. And that's something what people on this here are looking at as well. Yeah. So we have that, and then we take a look. Another part of this, we have individuals in the telecommunication industry. One gentleman that's he's out in California. He's managed 300 to 500 particular operations, opening, managing them. That's pretty heavy duty.
Right.
Is that right?
Yep.
So we have other people that are in the medical device industry, pharmaceutical industry. We have people that are senior executives in the automobile industry. So it's a broad across the board. And I will think there's one other individual. He's pretty unique. He's into equity. He sits on a board of equity advisors that looks into buying into other businesses to build. So, and he has he's purchased 4 licenses down in Florida, so we're excited about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then can you tell us, Jesse, and those that are watching this and are looking at probably a myriad of different business opportunities and,
Sure.
and franchising options, why should someone consider Eat the Frog Fitness as their next business investment and endeavor?
Yeah, that's a great question. When I take the calls across the United States and listen to people, I always say you want to start at the top. Because here's the thing, even if they don't buy from us, I want to help educate people on what franchising is about. And I think the sincerity that we come across the phone goes a long ways, and it's based on our closing percentage as well, by the way. But what's interesting is I say start at the top. Now, you've heard earlier from Brian Clay. I mean, obviously someone who's well versed in the scientific aspects of training, understands programming. He's our CBO, Chief Branding Officer, if you will. And then you take a look at the other business partner, Joe Culver. Joe Culver has been in the fitness industry, in the big box. He's been in franchising. So there's a nice combination of franchising and fitness, science-based, periodization, athletic training, all of that makes a nice combination. But then you also want to look at the executive team. What experience do they have? In our team, we have people who have been in franchising like myself. We have other people that have been franchising. We have people that are, obviously want to look at the IT. You want to look at programming for sure. There's a lot that goes behind that screen right there in terms of technology.
Right.
Social media, digital operations, all of those things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, no doubt, and as Garrett and Connie alluded to, as we've talked with them, that they have felt the tremendous support of that home office, that corporate team, and you talked about just the talents of everyone and the collective experience that everyone brings together in franchising and fitness and technology and all that goes into this brand.
Yeah.
What have you seen as you've watched this brand expand and grow, and you've heard about some of the member feedback and even now the business owner, their feedback within owning and Eat the Frog? What have been some of the things that you've heard yourself that is just like, wow, I'm proud to be a part of this brand, Eat the Frog Fitness?
Sure. It's all part of everybody that I talk to. 100% obviously has a passion for fitness. And so they bring that into the business. They understand this is not, as I refer to, this is not the field of dreams where if you buy it, it will come. Like Garrett and Connie alluded to earlier, it's work. Right. W-O-R-K, work. In the beginning, so work hard at it. But what they see in their own personal lives is when they're involved in working out as well. And so there's a lot of passion into that. They see their benefits. They love the changes that they make in people's lives. Yep. That's very important. Not only in the members, but in the community. I mean, I know this is a kind of overused word, community, but that's what this is. The culture they bring in here, knowing everybody, like Cheers, everybody knows their name, right?
Right.
So, it's kind of neat. The other thing about why someone should look at Eat the Frog Fitness is because what Garrett and Connie said earlier is the diversification in terms of what we have to offer. That is huge. I like to come over here. This is my own home studio here. I'd come here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The reason why is because I'll take a break, I'll get my workout in, and you know what? I get to go home work in my home office, and I don't have to deal with traffic.
Right.
One of the things about this business with the 24/7 is the fact is that right across the road here, there's a company I think people may have heard, it's called Mayo Clinic. And what's interesting, at 11 o'clock at night, we have people coming in here. So think about that when you're looking at a business opportunity. How can I can hit first shift workers, second shift workers, third shift workers. And lastly, this business model can actually go inside of an existing business. We're talking to people right now, there's one, and I'm not gonna say the state, but there's one particular group that is very interested in. Their building is 300,000 square feet. They have 2,500 people a day that go through this. And I'm not going to say what the business is. That's a lot, though. And they have 9 of these buildings.
Wow.
Across the United States.
Wow.
We're talking to another group, and they have multiple athletic clubs, and they're looking at this to help diversify their own bubble, right? Yeah. They want to get to the boutique space, and they don't want to have to reinvent the wheel. So it's definitely exciting. Closing. It's been interesting because I have communications with people, investor groups from Dubai, Pakistan, China, South Africa, Israel. 38 months.
Wow.
38 months.
Pretty special.
Yeah, it was funny because Brian and I were in the Scottsdale location a couple of years ago, and we were talking to an interpreter, and the interpreter was turning around and giving the message back to two gentlemen from China. So it was, and we were only like maybe 14 months old.
Yeah.
So it's been an exciting ride, and if, as you do your due diligence, I hope you have the opportunity to take a look at Eat the Frog Fitness, and it is an exciting brand. And if you're looking for diversification, something different, not only today, but ask yourself the question, what are you doing tomorrow? Because this space, fitness and technology, is changing, and we're already working on those changes.
Yeah. Well, I can say, Jesse, and for those that are watching and considering, jumping in and taking the leap, as we say, into Eat the Frog,
yeah.
I can tell those of you that are watching that if you do decide, you have really no better resource than Jesse Curry right here to assist you in that process, in looking into it, doing your due diligence. I know the Eat the Frog team as well is beyond honored and lucky to have someone like you here with them. And again, to you all out there watching, you've got a great resource here. So any interest, obviously he's going to be the guy to go to, and he'll be a great resource and help to you. So thank you again for watching, for tuning in, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Welcome to the Frog Squad.